I talk a lot on this channel about the right items that you should be listing into your eBay dropshipping store. But let's talk for a minute about some items that you need to avoid. And in fact, I'm going to cover 5 of them in today's video. If you don't know who I am, my name is Paul and I run a website over at dropshippingtitans.com where I've taught hundreds of students now how to dropship successfully onto eBay. Now, I hear a lot of people asking what types of items they should be listing onto eBay. But I don't hear many people asking what types of items they should avoid. And I think that could be really important as well. So we're gonna make a game out of this today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put up on the screen 5 different items, one at a time. And you're going to have 5 seconds to try to find out or try to figure out what's wrong with it and why I don't think it's a good idea for you to list this item or these types of items into your eBay dropshipping store. Each different product is going to have an assigned number of points. So if you get that answer right, if you figure out correctly why you shouldn't be listing it, you get all those points. So at the end of the video, make sure to drop the number of points that you won, write it into the comment section of this video, because I'm going to pick one winner and they're going to receive a $25 gift certificate to Amazon. You guys ready to start? You understand the rules? Okay, this is product number 1. It is going to be worth 15 points. This is a big one for this game. So you ready? Here it is. So the problem with this item is that it is a liquid. And a lot of times when companies ship liquids to customers, they break apart in transit and they cause a huge mess. And then the customer gets this wet, soggy box. It's not good customer service. The customer is very upset. There's no way for them to even return the item. So you actually will operate at a loss there because they're unable to return it. And you then have to ship them out a full product because the supplier is going to want you to return something even if it is a soggy, wet, broken box. So for that reason, I highly suggest, especially if you're a new seller, for you to avoid dropshipping liquids, at least at first, until you get more experience and kind of have a little bit more room to experiment. But definitely in the beginning, liquids are a really huge hassle and a big headache when you're dropshipping onto eBay. So if you got that question right, you just got 15 points. But let's move on to product number 2 here. And this one is going to be worth 8 points. Did you figure this one out? This is an item that falls under eBay's VERO program, V-E-R-O. And that stands for Verified Rights Owner Program. These are brands that do not want you listing onto eBay if you're going to use their photos, their stock photos, and their stock descriptions, because those photos and those descriptions are actually copyrighted. So you don't have the copyright owners, or which in this case is the brand, you don't have their permission to use those photos and descriptions. So if you do list those items up, the owner, in this case 3M, has the right to ask eBay to remove that listing, and eBay will do that for them. If you get enough of those, you could get in trouble with eBay, so it's just not worth it at first when you're a beginner. I do see more experienced sellers selling VERO items that violate VERO, but that is at their risk, and I highly suggest if you're a new seller not to take that risk with a new account. Luckily, if you use a software like DSM Tool, it's going to automatically alert you if you are trying to list a VERO item and will actually block it if you try to do that, if that's what you want them to do. So if you got that one right, you got 8 points. But let's move on to number 3. See if you can figure out what's wrong with this item. Did you figure out what was wrong with that one? It's just too cheap, too inexpensive. There's just not enough room in there for you to make a margin. If you try to mark it up enough to actually make a profit, it's going to be too much for a consumer to reasonably pay that much for the item. Remember, you have to pay your eBay fees, you have to pay your PayPal fees, and included with that PayPal fee is not only a percentage, but also a 30-cent markup or 30 cents for every single transaction. So at the very least, even if you think you're going to make 10 cents on this sale, remember, you still have to pay 30 cents to PayPal. In addition to that, you also have to account for your time or your virtual assistant's time. Is it really worth you putting in the time to fulfill this order and only making a few pennies? Now, as you grow your store more and manage to automate more of the process, you might be finding that it's worth it for you to list an item that's only going to make you $1 profit or even 50 cents worth of profit, because you've automated your business to the point where you can scale it up and sell 100 items a day at 50 cents, and that might be worth it for you. But definitely in the beginning, I don't think it's worth it for you to sell items that are so cheap. There's just so little room for you to make any money with it. So if you got that one right, congratulations, you just got 8 more points. If you didn't get it right, no big deal, because the next one is going to be worth 12 points, and that's coming up right now. Did you see what was wrong with that item? It was the handling time. The handling time is just way too long for this item. See, when you're selling an item on eBay, you want your handling time to be at most 4 days. Any longer than that, and customers are going to start to complain, even if you put into your listing that the handling time is longer. Now, how do you make sure that your handling time with your supplier is good? Do some test runs. Order some products from your supplier, have them shipped to you first, and see what the handling time is like, see what the shipping time is like. Or just start out slowly selling from that supplier, or ask the advice of more experienced sellers. Like for instance, I know that if you dropship from Home Depot, Walmart, or Amazon.com, your handling time is going to be very quick turnaround on those. But if you dropship from other websites like AliExpress, where the items might even be coming from overseas, those handling times are going to be much longer. And that's going to make customers upset because they do want their items quickly. So just keep that in mind when you're getting started, that you might want to avoid having items with longer handling times. We only have one more item up right now, one more item to go, one last chance for you guys to get some points and win that $25 gift card for Amazon. So this last one is going to be worth 10 points, and here it is right now. All right, do you know what's wrong with this item? It has a bad review. And if an item has a bad review on the source's website, then it's also going to be a bad product to dropship onto eBay. And the reason for that is because chances are there's some sort of quality issue with this item. It's probably breaking, or it doesn't work well. It's just something wrong with it. This increases the number of returns that you're going to get, the number of upset customers, the number of negative reviews. It's just not worth the headache. So I would avoid anything with 3 stars or less, because those just aren't worth it. Those aren't good products. So if you got that one correct, congratulations, you got another 10 points. So make sure that you guys add up all your points and drop how many points you got into the comments section of this video. I'm going to pick one random person who participated, and they're going to win a $25 gift card to Amazon. You don't need to have gotten the most points. You know, I trust most of you, but I do know that there's some other people out there who aren't being honest, and they're just gonna say they won all the points. And if that's the case, well, to prevent that from happening, I'm just going to pick a random person who participated. So even if you got 0 points, you still have a chance of winning. So drop it into the comments section. Also let me know if you won, if you learned anything here, and if you found this video useful, if you found it fun, make sure to give the video a thumbs up. If you guys like it, I'll make more kind of games like this in the future. So if you don't want to miss those, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I, of course, always have a ton of great content about eBay and Amazon dropshipping. So thanks for playing the game with me. Had a lot of fun, and I'll see you guys in the next video.